Van Halen was coming up.
Now,
So,
were they based? Where were they based
well,
out
they
of?
they were up here in San Jose. So they
Okay.
had a house in San Jose, and they were writing music and practicing and playing at gigs up here. And so they decided they were going to go break into the biz. So they loaded everything up into a Langendorf, I think a Langendorf bread truck. I think I remember, and an old Willys ambulance. So and they head on down to make it in the biz, and they kind
They
of
went down to L.A.
they went down to L.A. They
Okay.
got as far as Santa Barbara, and basically got stuck without any money,
Hmm.
and hilarity ensued, of course. So
I hear that's a party town.
yeah, it was the drummer. The original drummer was from Santa Barbara, so he had connections down there,
Okay, yeah.
and so they had a lot of gigs that they could play down there. But eventually they ran out of dough and headed back up here, and then some some other influences infiltrated the band, and basically it blew up, and they all went their separate ways. But since then they've played. Now back when they were trying to make it in the business, I was singing in punk bands in high school.
Okay.
So and I always wanted to sing with them, but they
They
because it
were
was
they were too cool for you.
well, my brother always didn't like me horning in on
This
his.
is your older brother,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So he didn't want me horning in on his stuff, but there was always little chicks running around, and so I was always hanging out with them.
Yeah.
And while they were in there practicing, I was knocking the boots with their girlfriends, but all except for my brother's girlfriend, and a couple of the bass players' girlfriends. I
We'll
never
make some
got.
disclaimers and
Yeah, well, I have to
am I,
make sure
how
because
much of this am I gonna have
they
to
may be
bleep
watching
out?
this.
Yeah.
When I had a.
Our one viewer, man, I wish I knew who it was.
Well, it's cool. Um, so I've been playing with my brother now for about 14, 15 years.
And that's been the
In
majority of
various
that.
bands. We started off playing. He met up with some guys in Woodland that were part of a rockerstra, which was basically a whole bunch of musicians who get together and they learn some tunes and go out and play them. So what my brother did is he got involved with these guys and he kind of handpicked some of them, some of the better players. And so we started playing with them as a southern rock band, cover tunes and
Okay.
some originals called Southbound. And
Did you do Freebird?
well, my brother had to play a lot of Freebird in high school and swore he'd never play it again. Although if you come up with $100 cash,
Yep.
he will play it.
There you go.
So since I've been playing with him, we've done Freebird twice, and both times we were paying $100 to do it. So
See, in that, what I would do in the post-production, there's going to be a dollar sign flashing. Freebird.
Freebird for cash. Yeah.
For cash. Ain't nothing free about
Yeah.
Freebird.
So there was a lot of Skinner and 38 Special and stuff in that band, but that was all about the drinking, and in the course of that band, I got sober, and I started getting a little bit more serious. I wanted something more. And so my brother and I cracked off a few of the players out of that band and started a band called Smack Runner. And
That sounds like an odd name for a sober band.
Yeah, well, it was
Smack
more
Runner. Yeah.
more Jim Rome, running smack on people, because the tunes that I was writing at that time in my career were about poking fun at the world, like pointing out how stupid we really are. I mean, incredibly stupid. So some of the writing that I was doing at that time was some of that, and then there was a lot of, I wasn't really in love. Well, I still am with my wife, but there was a lot of love stuff going on in it. So, but we, again, some of the players that we brought from the other band were kind of, well, we can maybe make practice, and so that kind of, my brother and I were getting a little bit tired, and I just finally said to hell with that. I'm not going to play with them anymore. And my brother said, don't do that, because then they'll want to play with me. And so he broke the band up, and then we reformed as Metro Logic. We got this drummer that I met in program, and really, really good drummer, like just super strong rock and roll drummer. And we played with him for about 6 years, and then he decided he had to drink, and ended up doing time in jail, and so that Metro Logic kind of busted up. But over the
that's a familiar story.
yeah, it's hard to find people that won't flake,
And go to jail.
or go to jail, or find something better to do. Music is a difficult thing to do in the best conditions. It really is. To find a group of people that you can play with and you enjoy playing with, and keep that group together for any period of time is amazing. Chris and I have been doing it for these years now, so we're kind of like a backbone with whatever band we play with. We kind of hold it all together,
Yeah.
so that we can play.
Well, I've found that is that a lot of the time, if you can get at least two people who can stick together, it seems to make a huge difference. And you'll see that with like a lot of different bands. And I know Middle Class Rep, for example, they ended up being it's just the two of them. And apparently they've been through a whole bunch of bands. And now they just have the guitar player do effects so that they don't need a bass, and it's just a two-person deal, because it's so hard to get, I mean, even that's incredibly hard to come by. And you guys, I mean, it's like your blood, so you're able
Right.
to. I think that's probably one of the things that helps.
Well, that we've tried to, over the years, my brother and I have written a lot of songs together, and we always try and write the kind of songs that are easy to teach to other musicians,
Mm-hmm.
that say something, and that are fun for us to play.
Mm-hmm.
You can write some incredibly intense things that people, other musicians would just go, holy crap, how'd you do that? But you go to play it out, and people are, the average person's just like, they're confused. They're like, that whatever that monarch was in Mozart, who said too many notes.
Yeah.
It's like they can't wrap their head around it. And so, Chris and I have always aimed for that.
Or it's just like a lot of work, and who wants
Oh,
to...
I don't mind the work's the fun part.
Oh no, but
It's
if
just
the other musicians have to do the work,
right. Right.
it's like because most of us are in this, at least to a certain degree, to have fun. So to give someone a big old workload is like, I mean, it's like it's kind of like good luck, getting them to do that for.
You find the right guys, Luke, and that it's not work. Like this, Kurt Galloway is the guy that's playing with us now. He just soaks this stuff up, and this Defiant stuff, the original tunes that they wrote, have a lot of breaks in them, a lot of tempo changes, and they're difficult songs for a good drummer to play, even when they know them. And he just picked it right up, and would not settle for anything but perfection in learning them. But again, it's 5 people, and the best I've ever heard any band I've been in sound is with 4. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the more people you add, the more difficult it becomes to sound tight.
Yeah.
But this Defiance band, there's just so much. They're already tight. Like the bass player and the drummer have been playing together for years now, so they're already a tight rhythm section.
Nice.
And
That's...
everybody loves to get together and play. Everybody loves to get together and record. I mean, we're doing a lot of recording right now.
So what are you doing now? Do you have any gigs with Defiance?
We've got a couple of things that are pending. We have interest. We have a website on Reverb Nation,
Okay.
that you can go on and check out our stuff. And we've gotten contacted by a promoter recently up here in Sacramento, and we're kind of in communication with her, trying to put something together for up here.
Okay.
But we've done a few gigs, rallies, and we did a big bike run and things of that nature.
Oh, okay.
So good night.
Night.
Oh, okay.
Just we couldn't see it.
So we haven't been we've been putting the music together for the last year, so it hasn't had an opportunity to get out there as much as I'd like to. But it serves its purpose. Right now it works for me. I've had those in Metrologic. We had the biggest run of playing every other weekend and practicing on the weekends that we're not playing, and that's a lot of time away from your family, and it's a lot. It's a hell of a lot of work, because in that band we were playing 4 45-minute sets, and then enough stuff to fill in for extra in case somebody wanted to hear something, or a club owner wanted us to go long.
You guys had a lot of material.
We had a lot of material, and I'm a lead singer. I'm the front man, and the bulk of the singing is on my shoulders. And my brother loves the Hendrix stuff. He loves the Stevie Ray Vaughan.
He loves the guitar stuff.
He loves the guitar stuff, and I like doing the Beatles and the Eagles and all that, and that's one thing I do miss about playing with the Metrologic band, is we had some great harmonies, and I gave you a sampler of some of those tunes, but just in the original form. I don't any of the copy stuff I can't send out over.
Yeah.
Over just copyright infringement. And
Yeah.
I don't want to get in trouble with.
Yeah, we'll try and keep everything legit here. Now, I did want to do kind of a fun exercise with you here. I've done this with a few people, so I'm hoping I'm not ruining it. But it's like a personality test, and it's fun. Yeah.
Well, do you need a test to know that I'm an asshole? Because I can tell you straight up. I mean, people that will talk to you, most people who don't really know me, who meet me out in the world, will say I'm an asshole.
All right, so he's an asshole.
Because perception is everything. But I'll take the test anyways, because maybe I'll sound a little bit better.
Oh, you'll see. Okay, now, first thing I'm going to ask you is to name a color. First color that pops to your mind.
Red.
Red. Okay. Now, give me 3 descriptive words for that color.
Warm. Sweet. Loving.
Warm, sweet, and loving. All right. I'm going to write this down. Can I get a witness? Okay. Now, second question. Think of an animal. First animal that comes to your head.
Tiger.
All right. Let me see. And the first 3 descriptive words that you can think of for tiger.
Ferocious.
Okay.
Sure of itself. I don't know. And
Confident?
confident, yeah.
Okay.
And aloof.
Aloof. All right. Awesome. Now the third one is a body of water. Any body of water.
Pacific Ocean.
Okay. And the first 3 descriptive words that come to mind for that.
Vast. Plentiful. Playground.
Have you taken this before?
No.
Okay.